Good morning, sir. Sir, no audio. No audio.
We can't hear you.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Is it audible now? Not yet? No? Is the audio coming on now? No? Check now. Is the audio coming now? But I think those online can hear. Everyone can hear? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I think there's some technical error here. Okay. So we're talking about corporate vision, mission, values, and culture, chapter 4. And as I was just saying before, that there are certain intangibles, right? So yes, we all want to work. We work because of professional growth. We work because we need finances to help us journey in life. But apart from that, there are intangibles. Intangibles are having a vision, mission, values, and culture. And in this chapter we look at why having a vision, or what is a vision, what is a mission, and what does it mean to have values and culture, and how does it affect you and I in our life, right? Remember, so if we are in working, whether in the corporate or whether in ministry, values and culture, enables us to give our 100%. If you have bad values and a bad culture, will you feel like going to work? Right now, if you have a good culture, good values, and a good vision, an organization stands for, you'll feel like working, right? So sometimes it's not about the money, but sometimes it's about a bigger picture. I'm fulfilling a vision. I'm learning something in this place, right? So let's look at what does it mean when we say corporate vision, right? Now, picture it this way, right? Think of it both as an organization and as a ministry. Corporate vision describes what you wish to become as an organization and may include why you wish to become that. A man or an organization without a vision will fail. Why is vision important? We talked about it many times. What does a vision do? Vision is always ahead. You foresee it, right? Without a vision, you have nothing to head towards. Yes, life just goes on, and it's like, okay, 2025 went, 2025 will go. Why? Because there's no vision. But if there's a vision, you like to see yourself or the organization heading to that place, right? And it may also include why you wish to become in that vision. So for example, APC, we have to be salt and light. That's the vision. Why do we want to be that vision? To make an impact, to equip people, to impact the world, to be salt and light to the city of Bangalore, voice to the nation and the nations. Why? So that we'll be able to impact more people, equip more people, build God's kingdom. So that's the biggest vision, the mission. So what is the mission? Describes how you will accomplish the things that you pursue in your vision. How many of us have a vision? All of us have some kind of vision, right? Okay, 5 years from now, I want to see this in my life. The mission simply means what you will do to fulfill that vision. Right? A vision will not automatically come to pass. Something must happen, right? Something you must do to it, right? Whether it's your personal life, whether it's your family, whether it's your work life, professional life. Something has to be done for the vision to be accomplished, and that is called the mission, right? Then you have values. Values describes what the organization stands for and ethical standards. Values, here's the thing. I think here nowadays, what we see around us, I won't say that all organizations don't have values, but I would say majority of organizations don't hold to values. Why? Because values depend on ethical standards. Nowadays, people say, okay, they would try to take bribes and forgery and money laundering in businesses and even in ministry, right? There's no ethical standards. Think of it in ministry. People are saying, you pay me this much, I'll pray for you, I'll give you prophecy. What's the value in that? Is there a value in that? Right? It is embarrassing. Yes, forget about value. So think of, an organization. Values really is something that we must set in place over time, right? Values describes what the organization stands for. I'm sure you and I have certain values that we stand by, right? Hey, this is a value I stand by. No matter what, I will wake up, I will pray, I will read the Bible. Difficult times, good times, bad times, I will do it. Daniel had values and he didn't compromise those values. But no matter what, I will open the window, pray 3 times a day. You make how many ever idols, it doesn't matter to me. Values. Values determine who you are, right? And what the organization stands for. Fourthly is culture. Culture describes the intangible component of the work environment. It describes how people work together in an organization to pursue its vision. What culture? So remember, every church or every ministry, every organization have a different kind of a culture, right? So when you say a different kind of culture, meaning, see, now we have All People's Church, right? We have a certain culture that, every believer is a minister. Now, another organization may not have the same kind of culture. They may have a very free culture, right? Or some places in the corporate world, they have, I was reading about certain organizations here, the big organizations. They have all these gaming centers and all inside the company. When I was working in the corporate, I remember there would be, you know, table tennis, basketball. They have an indoor basketball court, right? Badminton, gym, and people will come in shorts. Now, I would go fully formal shirt, formal pant, and they're coming in shorts and t-shirt, and not even a bag. They're coming with one laptop in the hand, right? It's a big Fortune 500 company, right? But they're coming like that. Why? The culture is like that, right? But then there are other organizations that I worked for. You wear a tie. If not a formal, you have to wear a tie. Not even just formals. In meeting, you have to wear a tie. So the culture is something that changes over different organizations. But here's the thing: a culture doesn't happen automatically. A culture is formed within an organization. Okay, so let's look at a few points here on these four aspects. One, your vision influences your productivity. Proverbs 29 verse 18, where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint, but happy is he who keeps the law. The word revelation here simply means an inspired dream or vision. When there is no inspired dream or vision, there is nothing that will compel you to work. People wander around aimlessly and we end up being unproductive. Yes? So your vision influences your productivity. If you have a vision and that vision is burning inside you, it'll influence your productivity. You look at, even in the world, right? People, they may not even be Christians or believers. Look at these great men, right? Who have started these big organizations. It would have, okay, let me give you this example. Now, I'm not promoting this organization. I'm just giving you this example because I read about it, right? I'm sure you must have heard of Alibaba, right? The online store. And Jack Ma is the founder of it. Jack Ma, now, I'm just giving you the corporate perspective, okay? I'm not talking about anything spiritual in this. But look at the mindset. Jack Ma said, I want to start this organization where it will provide, online sales, buying, selling, everything. Everyone made fun of him. They mocked him. They ridiculed him. But he had a garage, right? He started in a garage with 2 computers, right? And somebody asked him, what's wrong with you? He said, I'm seeing this company 20 years ahead. I'm not seeing it now. Now you're seeing me sitting in a garage with 1 computer on old table. But I'm looking at it 20 years ahead, right? And look at what happened. There were 10 people. In the 10 people that he had, he never paid them a salary, right? 8 of them left. 2 of them stayed back. Those 2 who stayed back are multi-billionaires now. Not millionaires, billionaires. Okay. And this guy is a billionaire, Jack Ma. Why? What kept them going? Your vision influences your productivity. In one of his interview, he says, I never slept. I slept 4 or 5 hours a day. How can you sleep 4 or 5 hours a day? Because your vision is burning. You cannot sleep. That's what vision does. Now think of it as, for us as believers, how much more it should impact us. And we have a vision to, we're building God's kingdom. This company is a tangible. It's going to one day just go away. But what we are working towards and what we are building is an intangible, a kingdom that will never end. How much more should our vision influence our productivity, right? What happens is when you have a compelling vision, it captures imaginations, it grips the heart, it fires up passion, it inspires action, it creates focus, it births ideas, it influences thought, it guides decisions, provides direction, it rallies people together, and all of this provides a productive organization. Look at these thoughts here: influence, births ideas, focus, passion, inspire. All of these happen. Good example will be that of Nehemiah, right? Very simple example. The man was there were many people who were, you know, were in captivity during that time. But he heard the walls are broken, the gates are burned down. What happened? In his mind's eye, he saw the wall being built and the gates being repaired. It all happened here. Once it happened here, it became a vision and went to the heart. Once it went to the heart, it changed him. He knew something had to be done. So much so that when he went to the king said, "Why are you so, do you have fever? Why are you so weak? Why are you so sad? You have never been sad." No, this is what's happened. And that vision, even the king saw it in him and said, "Okay, whatever you want, you take." That's what a vision does. It grips people's heart. It grips even the hearts of unbelievers. Amazing, no? Let me tell you this. There's this pastor that I know many years ago, and he wanted to build a school in his village. And he used to always pray, say, "God, I want to build a school so that people can study. And also, once they study, I can teach them the Bible. They can learn to read and write." Okay. And he had been praying. This happened in the early 2012, 10, 9, 10, somewhere there. Okay. And he used to pray. But he had nothing with him. He said, "I don't have finances. I have a small church, 50 people in my church. I'm only struggling in my house. Building a school. I mean, it's just impossible, right? How can I build a school? Where's the finances?" But that vision gripped his heart. Every day he would say, "I want the children in this village to study, to be able to read and write so that I can teach them the Bible." Because the government schools are doing nothing. So he kept praying, praying, praying. One day, a person from another faith had come, right? A Hindu person had come to the village, and he was preaching on the streets. And as he was preaching, this man said, "Can I meet with you after the meeting?" And they met together. And after talking, this man said, "I don't know why, but I'm giving you this amount for something that you have to do." Wrote a check of a certain amount and gave it to him. And he began with that money to build a school. And now it's a big school, right? All the way from nursery to 10th standard. A vision influences your product. People from other faith will put into your vision. God will send the people, right? So a vision statement is usually a single sentence that is compelling, inspiring, and descriptive. Even as we do this, each one of you may be waiting to start your own ministries, or you have certain plans for your work or your business. Write down maybe a thought that will come to your mind. Okay, this can be the vision for my ministry, or this can be the vision for my business, for my own personal life. Right? Write them down. Okay, next one. Vision, write it, repeat it again and again. Right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3 and 4 says, "Then the Lord answered me and said, write this vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? Here's the thing with a vision. If it's not repeated, it's easily forgotten. In life, there's so many things that go into our mind, right? So, thoughts, okay, work and family, and our own goals, our own ambitions. All these is there. And sometimes we forget the vision. We can get sidetracked. God is leading us this way, suddenly we take a right and we go. Get sidetracked. Oh, this is not leading to the vision that I had. So very important is write it down, repeat it again and again and again and again. Let me give you this example. Now, this is something that worked for me, right? When I was probably in my early 20s, I was serving in the we had a team in the church where we would set the tables and clean the chairs, right? All like 500 chairs for central. So I was doing that. And every time I would clean, I would look at the stage. I would say, God, one day over there I should be, but I will be wiping those chairs. Right? But that vision became very clear to me. At one point, I saw myself on there. Now, I didn't know how to play an instrument. I didn't know how to sing. I didn't know how to preach. Nothing, right? And I was extremely shy. I wouldn't talk to people. I never attended youth camp. No youth meeting, no youth camps, nothing. Very shy. But people used to say, Paul, come for youth meeting at least. No, very shy. I'll come, finish cleaning the chairs and sit somewhere in the corner. But that vision started burning in my heart, very strong, right? And I realized I have to write it down. So I wrote it down. One day I will lead worship. I will preach in this church. And I put it up on my cupboard. Every day I would read it. Every day. Every single day I would read it. And I had a verse, Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly, more than we can ask, think, or imagine. The first thing what I did, bought one guitar. Started trying to learn from people, watch, learn, okay, something. But the vision was there. I was very far away from the vision. I thought, okay, it'll take 10 years. It was okay. It was burning in your heart. So every time I cleaned those chairs, I saw myself on the stage. One day I'll be there. And it burned so much that it literally drove me to a place where I would not, I would read the word again and again and again. Just be reading the word. Just be, practicing guitar and singing, just hours and hours of it. I don't waste my time. People say, come, we're going for coffee. No time for coffee. Why? One day. Come and go play cricket or soccer. No time for all that. Why? One day. Right? And that's what it says. Though it tarries, wait for it will surely come. Yet, in a vision without a work, like what we said, without a mission, it will not get fulfilled. Right? So you need the vision part. Important to find ways and means to keep that vision refreshed in people's mind. Not only in your mind, but also in people's mind. Make it. So in APC, we always say, hey, every believer is a minister. We are the salt and light. Even if you're doing the smallest thing, you're partaking in the vision of the church. To the city, a voice to the nation and the nations. So remember, as a church, we are not only, okay, APC, we are here, we are only helping everyone here in Bangalore. No. We want to go across India. We want to go across overseas as well. There will come a time for that, right? But now we're trying to focus in our nation, right? And you keep refreshing it in people's mind. Write it, talk about it, display it, and in many other ways, keep the vision before a people. A constant reminding of the vision will keep you motivated and propelled into action. Each one of you sitting here, if you are dragging yourself, oh man, another 3 hours. Oh, thank God it's Friday. Tomorrow is my break. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But if you're dragging yourself to class, that means you need to refresh your vision again, refresh it back. Because if you're dragging yourself, you're saying you're forcing yourself to do something. Yeah, there are times you have to force yourself to discipline yourself. And you force yourself, okay, wake up, read. You have to read. Yesterday I was very sleepy during the prayer time, 7 to 9. I said, okay, if I sit, I'll sleep. So the whole time I was standing. So you're disciplined, right? You tell yourself, if I sit, I'll sleep. So stand. 1 hour I stood, 8 to 9. Right? Now, it was not to prove a point, but it was to say that, okay, if I sit, I know I will doze off. So better stand. It's very simple. It's common sense. It's discipline that you put in your mind. Right? Uh, if you want people to keep running with the vision, repeat it again and again and again. Keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself, propelled into action. Next point. A compromised vision leaves people confused. Oh, this is a dangerous place. If vision is blurred, leaves one in darkness. You don't know where to go. Think of this in a mirror. If you crack a mirror, just take a small hammer, crack that mirror, and then you stand and look at yourself. Are you clear? You'll find pieces all over the place, right? You'll be wondering where's your hand and where's your leg because it's cracked. And if a vision is cracked or it's blurred, you won't see the ahead. The vision should be clear in front of you, right? Now, a vision that is compromised leaves everyone confused. Here's the thing. In the New Testament, the Pharisees and the Sadducees were leading the people of Israel, right? Of course, we had the Roman rule. But what was happening there during that time? You know what was happening? They were all confused. There was no good leadership. It was blind leading the blind. That's what Jesus said. Leave these Pharisees because they are blind. They don't have a vision. They are doing this, sacrifices law for the past 400 years. They don't even know why they're doing it. But leave them. There's no vision there. Don't even disturb them because there's no vision, there is no impact. There's no productivity there. But on the flip side, look at John the Baptist. He had a vision. My one vision is proclaim that the Messiah is coming. Right? That is my one vision. He went about saying, behold, went about trying to fulfill that vision. He saw the number of people who followed him. Did John say, everyone come to me? Nowhere it says, John never said, everyone come follow me. Nothing. He went to the river. Everyone found out, hey, somebody is near the river. What's he doing? Baptizing people. What's he wearing? Some old-fashioned clothes. Everyone went there. Why? He had a vision. There was something about him. The Pharisees and Sadducees, they knew the law. They knew everything. No vision. You understand how a vision captures people? Right? Everyone with me? A blurred vision, people become disillusioned. Productivity drops. The organization is affected. And the remedy is to restate, clarify, realign to the original vision. Next one. State your mission loud and clear. Luke 4:18 and 19. Now, the Lord Jesus is stepping into full-time ministry. Think of this. He's 33 years old now, and he's ready. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has chosen me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and to recover sight to the blind, to set free the oppressed, and announce that the time has come where the Lord will save his people. The Lord Jesus came into the world to save people from sin, Satan, sickness, and death. Right? And as he launched his earthly ministry, he announced loud and clear some of the things he would do. Look at this. Jesus was not ashamed. Nowhere do you see Jesus ashamed of who he is. Everywhere he went, he stated his mission loud and clear. Here in Luke 4, he starts off, he says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me to do what? He's not just saying, hey, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, everyone follow me. No. He's saying, to bring the good news to the poor, to proclaim liberty to the captives, to recover sight to the blind, to set free the oppressed, and announce that the kingdom of the Lord has come. He had a mission on how he's going to do it. You see this? This is the mission. What did he do after this? He chose 12 people. Come on, this is the mission. This is the vision. This is the mission. This is what you must do. Let's start. You think that Jesus didn't have a corporate mindset? Of course he did, right? He's the one who gives us the wisdom to start businesses and start ministries. It's him. It's all his planning, right? From then on, people saw him do the very things he said he would do. Here's the thing. Jesus didn't say something and do something else. Jesus didn't say, okay, I don't think this place is good. Let's go to India and do ministry. No. He knew, I said this is what I'm going to do it. Right? The 12 disciples followed him, and so did the crowds. And it became apparent that if you wanted to hear the good news, if you wanted to experience liberty, free from oppression, then all you need to do was go to Jesus. Let me give you 2 or 3 examples. The woman with the issue of bleeding. What a beautiful story. That woman said, I may not get a chance to see Jesus again. I heard that he's passing by. Now, I don't even want to talk to him. I don't even want to see him. That's okay. All I want to do is touch the hem of his garment. That's all. Amazing, right? All I want to do is touch the hem of his garment. And I know I'll get healed. She pushed through all the people. Said, I need to touch the hem of his garment. Because I may not get this opportunity again. Wherever Jesus went, people knew if I go to Jesus, I will be healed. Remember the leper? The leper came to Jesus, and coming to a Jew, and that to a rabbi, a teacher of the law, a teacher, right? Jesus was. I mean, he was already famous. He had already done so many miracles. This leper comes and says, Lord, I know that the doctors have no medicine. I know there is no cure for leprosy. But one thing I know, if you are willing, you will heal me. What a beautiful answer Jesus gave. Jesus says, I'm willing. Why? Because he had already stated it. I've come to set the captives free. So much so, even people out of the covenant. The Roman centurion comes and says, my servant is unwell. Jesus says, okay, I'll come. The Roman centurion says, no, you don't come. Just say the word. My servant will be healed. Jesus was amazed and said, you have great faith. Let it be done according to your own faith. Right? So everywhere Jesus went, he never differentiated between people. Even the Gentiles, surprisingly, 2 times to 2 of them who he said great faith were not of the covenant. They were outside of the covenant. Right? One is this Roman centurion. Second is the Canaanite woman whose son was possessed. And Jesus says, I didn't come, to throw the food to the dogs. And she replied saying, at least the dogs will eat the breadcrumbs that have fallen off the master's table. Jesus said, great is your faith. Your child is healed at this moment. So we see that he didn't just have a vision and a mission, but he fulfilled that through in his earthly ministry. Okay, next one. Values. Clarify what you really stand for. 1 Corinthians 14:8. For if the trumpet makes an uncertain sound, who will prepare for battle? Now, in ancient times, the trumpet sound was a call to battle. It mobilized people to enter into high-risk management or calling them to bold, fearless actions. Now, here's the thing. there were different kinds of trumpets used for different kinds of activities. Remember, when God brought the people out of Israel, out of Egypt, and they're all in, camping, it's just an open desert. So you can't just announce. There were trumpets used to assemble people. So, for example, one trumpet was to bring only the leaders. One trumpet was to get ready for battle. One trumpet was to say, okay, we're going to move now. Get ready, right? We have to camp. We are moving from one camp to another. So trumpets was used to call something into action, right? Uh, Organizations need to call people to stand for certain values. These values have to be understood, clearly understood, and people must know how to apply these in their professional activities. One of the things that we see here, that we always have in APC, we see that in the next page, our core values. Let's look at that, right? These are values that we always stand by. Number one, integrity. We value integrity over profit, right? So it's not like we, for profit, we sacrifice integrity. That means we walk in such a way that people cannot accuse us, right? Even if you look at APC, you look at our finances, everything is put, right? And why? Because we want to walk in integrity. It's our value. It's not something that we take lightly, right? Secondly, excellence. We have a passion for excellence, meaning we want to do our best in everything that we do. It may be a small conference with 50 people. It may be a conference for 500 people. It may be our Sunday services, our Bible college. Every aspect, we want to be excellent. That's our desire, right? 3, people. We value people over policies. Now, that means what? Policies, we're not saying policies are not important. Policies, guidelines are important. But people are more important than policies, right? Ministry is about people. Business is about people. What business can you do without people? Nothing. What ministry can you do without people? Nothing. People, it's all about people, right? We can't say we go and sit in a mountain and say, I'm doing ministry there. That's not ministry. Ministry is about people, building people up, right? And so we always treat people, and something that here we do in APC, treat people equally. You may come in a big car, you may come in a cycle, doesn't matter. All of them are treated equally. All of them are treated as children of God. And so there's no, favoritism, nothing. We don't agree to that. We don't want that in our church. No favoritism. You have the skills, you have the ability, you'll get an opportunity. Right? It's not like, okay, you know how to sing, go sing. No, you have to audition. Whoever you are, you have to audition. Right? And we've had some musicians, I remember this earlier. We had some of the best musicians in the world. We still have one of them. And he's one of the best musicians in the world, like a keyboardist. Not in the world, what am I saying? In India, right? In our nation. But I would say he's globally known also, right? He had to audition and he joined APC. We knew he'll get through, obviously, but he had to audition. And after audition, he had to wait for 3 weeks to start rostering him. We didn't say, oh, you go when you are the best keyboardist, you come directly. No. You're playing keyboard for 20 years, you're playing keyboard for 20 days, you audition. You get through, you get through. You have to sit for the orientation. And he did it. We made him do it. It's a policy. We're not going to change that. There's no favoritism there. You get what I'm saying? Yes? And it applies even to us in leadership. Right? Even now, senior pastors, we all say, today I'm on leave. We update everyone. It's not like, oh, why should I tell? The rule is a rule and it's for everyone. Very simple, right? And that's what we believe in. Then creativity. We pursue creativity in everything without getting blinded by routine. Creativity is important, right? Come up with new ideas, new strategies. Unity. What we accomplish together is more important than individual accomplishment. Very important. Underline that. Individual accomplishment is good. It's a good feeling to accomplish something, right? It's a good feeling to go on stage or even in your business to accomplish something. But what you accomplish together in a team is more valuable. Jesus never, he never put himself on the spot, but he always said, this is it was always a team effort for him. Remember when the uh, was it the 70? Yeah, he sent the 70 two by twos. Yes, the Lord Jesus sent the 70. They came back with the report. Jesus, in your name, demons are fleeing, the sick are being healed. Jesus didn't say, now you know the power of my name. Now you know who you're standing with. Huh? From that time, I've been telling you. Now you know. Jesus didn't say all that. What did he say? I saw Satan falling from lightning. That means it was like saying, hey, it is you. You all did it. You just use my name, but it is you who did it. And then he follows it up and saying, it will be for all who believe. For all who believe. He said, it's a team thing. It's not about me. Oh, yes, it's my name. I'm going to accomplish something on the cross, but I am giving you the authority. So when you do miracles, it is you fighting against the devil. I back you up. I'm there. I'll back you up. What a beautiful response it was. Because these 70 are fully excited. They're coming back. And a leader would have said, that's that's my name. But Jesus never said that. He did not put himself up, but he always said the team. It was always a team effort. So unity. Right? So these are some of our core values. And so even each one of you, you may want to start your own business, your own ministries, have some values, right? Put it down on paper, explain it. You may have 10 people in your church. It's okay. Start small. When small, you start off, right? And then so that as it grows, you will be able to keep that going the same way. Create a culture aligned to your vision and your values, right? A culture that's aligned to your vision and your values. Now, let's look at the example of Nehemiah. Everyone know the story of Nehemiah, right? He had a big vision, but he could not do this alone. So what did he do? First, he took that vision and he shared it with the king. He said, King, this is my problem. I need to build the walls and the gates I need to repair. The vision was compelling. The king agreed. Then he probably went back to his room and he said, listen up. I was been praying and now we're going to go and build the walls of Jerusalem, build the gates. They would have asked, hey, how can you do that? What will the king say? Don't worry, king has given me permission. Vision was captured. They said, king has given you permission to build a wall. Yeah, king has given me permission. Oh, immediately they've captured it. They've come and they said, okay, I'm joining you. So he stated the vision. 2, then he said what to do. If you read the book of Nehemiah, he planned out how to do the construction work. It's beautiful. He's not even an architect. Nothing he is. He's a, he's working as a cupbearer. But he says, okay, east wall, west wall, we'll do it this way. Everyone who's working in the day, you do this. So your house, your settlement is here. You go to the wall, work and come back. There'll be another team who's going on that side of the wall, west side. So you go, start building and come back. And in the night, we'll have another team working and another team will be, over, like looking over, making sure that no enemies come and attack. And he set everything in place. He had a mission, right? And he articulated that mission very beautifully. So much so, in 52 days, he finished it. People were mocking, hey, if a fox jumps over this, it'll break. But as the wall grew up, they got worried. Hey, Nehemiah, the wall is growing. Let's try and disturb him. Then what did he do? He had values. First, in the book of Nehemiah, everywhere you see the God of heaven. The God of heaven granted us success. The God of heaven was with us. The God of heaven. You see that phrase every time. Uh, one thing he knew, that God was on his side, and that was powerful. But he also knew there's an enemy. There are people who are trying to bring him down. No, didn't let him uh, push him down. He knew there were oppositions, hindrances would come, but they were all of the same mind, that the enemy had no right or say in what they were doing in their city. Everyone were in one mind, saying, here's the best part. Nehemiah didn't sit under one umbrella drinking tender coconut. The policy here was everyone work. He didn't tell everyone, you do this, and I'll be sitting and watching you. No, 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 no. Nehemiah put his hands to the plow. He worked, and people saw, "Ah, my leader is working. Why am I sitting? I must also work." Everyone worked. Think of this. Pharisees, Sadducees, people of the law, scribes, people who are farmers, people who are rich, people who are poor, all of them forgot everything and came to the wall. We have to build this wall. Hey, I'm rich. I don't need to do all this. No, they forgot about all that. We're all one right now. The wall needs to be built. How did that happen? Nehemiah put that vision into them. It's what a vision does. They forgot about their status, whether they are rich, poor, whether I'm from this tribe, that tribe, their profession. Right? Everything was put aside. Only one thing. Vision is build the wall. Nehemiah is working, I should work. Very simple. Can you believe, like, people, for example, high priests, they're putting cement and building that wall. Right? That's what a vision does. And three powerful values. God is on our side. We will all work, and nothing can stop us. Again, the culture here was people work together as one strong community. Nehemiah set the tone, shaped and preserved a strong culture that was able to lead by example. Right? Everyone worked. They worked hard with all their heart and mind. They supported each other, knowing that even though they were under threat from the enemy, some worked, others stood guard, right? And they took turns. Right? Now, think of this. They were not people who were in the army and all. They were not warriors, but they stood guard, maybe with spears, saying, okay, if anyone comes, they were willing to give their life for the sake of this wall. Then rulers were urged to be generous. Nehemiah set the example. Nehemiah said, I have let the people borrow money and grain from me. So have my companions and those who work for me. Now let's give up all our claims, cancel debts, and give back their fields, vineyards, olive groves, and houses right now. Now, remember, during those times, so for example, if there's a rich person, a person will go to that rich person and say, I'll give you my house. Can you give me some money? Or you can use this land until I give you, return back your money. Nehemiah, what he did was, he stood and he said, all that, all that I had, I have given freely. So now, even as we are doing this work, let's cancel all our debts. Forget about what we owe each other, everything. Cancel it. And let's all just work together with one. He urged the rulers, let's be generous. Right? And this played a big part, because think of the others. They would have said, wow, my debt is cleared. I'll give 200% in building this wall. And probably that's what happened. Right? Nehemiah led by example. He refused the rights and benefits of a leader. And he didn't eat of the table of the king. He ate with the people who were there. Right? And he set this example. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll pick up from our culture here at APC.